Hi there, I go by Agent Z or Agent Zero. I'm here to give a presentation on do-it-yourself investing. A lot of people are out there thinking, how do I get involved and how do I start investing, without going to a stockbroker and paying fees and stuff like that. So this presentation is really geared towards those individuals. Now, I've been asked by a lot of family and friends, can you really make money in day trading and investing? So we're going to cover that real briefly. In addition, one of the big things is what is the methodology to use, for buying the shares in the companies? How do you choose those companies? Very significant, important factor, which we'll cover. And then the how-to setup. What is the platform to use in order to sell and trade, in order to look at the companies and look at patterns and trends and different things like that. Of course, we'll cover that. I currently am using a Robinhood application. There's a link provided to that app down below from this YouTube channel. So please feel free to use that. But we'll talk about that shortly after. All right, so let's take a look at the first slide here. Can you really make money? All right. Now, that is a question I've been asked. Of course, you can make money. Absolutely. All right. But there are a variety of things that you have to consider. All right. You have to choose your investments wisely. All right? And what I mean by that is you have to do research on the company. You got to figure out what is it that you're looking to do. Are you looking to do a quick turnaround, buy, sell? In that case, you're probably going to be looking for a company that's got a lot of volatility or movement, and I'll explain that down the road. Or if you're looking for that mid or longer term, there's different things that you want to look for in that particular company. Again, focus on the profit margins. Definitely important to do. What are you risking and for at what reward? Are you risking a dollar in order to make 20 cents, or are you risking a dollar to make $2 or $3? There are stocks out there that have those differences. So again, we'll explore that, but really you want to make the most bang for your buck, and pay attention. And what I mean by that is, when you are starting to invest, pay attention to the company in which you're ready to invest with. Do a little bit of research on them beforehand. See what's upcoming, see what's going on with them. In addition, pay attention to current events. With different epidemics and COVID and all this kind of things, that changes the way that companies are adapting. It's definitely going to affect the values and the shares for that particular company, or at least likely to. And the last thing about being patient is, about paying attention, is that once you buy that stock or shares in a particular company, you're going to want to really monitor that, especially if you're looking for a quick sale. So it's not like you can just leave it in the morning, come back at during your evening and say, okay, did I make money or lose money? Sometimes it's a matter of minutes of when you can miss that opportunity, for making a 20 or 30 or 50% return on your investment. So again, that's extremely important. The other thing is being patient. Wait for those opportunities. Don't just rush into a stock just so that you have it. Look at the patterns, look at the trends, and make your decisions wisely. Again, just being patient. You're not rushing into this. And then have investments lined up. And what I mean by that, if you're going to get into day trading or start investing on a regular basis to really try to make some money, let's say you have a company, you invested in them. Maybe you made 15 or 20% return on your investment and you sold those shares. Make sure that you have your next investments lined up, ready to go, so you can channel and put that those dollars, those investments back into another opportunity. Again, of course, diversify and have multiple different things going on. But you don't want just your money to be sitting there. You want to be ready to go. So as soon as you sell one, you'll be able to put it into that next company and take that opportunity as they roll up. All right, so the methodology and the stock selection, again, extremely important. So again, looking at the risk versus the reward. How much money are you risking and at what profit margin? All right, now what I like to do is look at volatility or the movement in the stocks for that particular company. And what I'm going to show you is just two simple illustrations and examples of that. Let's just say here, example A, you're looking at Microsoft. And again, this is for demonstration purposes. Microsoft shares don't go for $10. Well, let's say Microsoft goes for $10 a share. You buy 5 shares at $50, okay? Now that chart down below in the view here, you can see over a 5-year time period how Microsoft has moved in the stocks. On the far hand left of that chart, you're going to see the dollar value of those shares. Now you bought it at that $10 mark, which is represented by that blue line there. You can see that overall it's ranged from roughly maybe $7.50 at a low, all right, upward to almost $10.50 or $11 as a high. Okay, that's not a lot of volatility. It's very steady, and that's not a bad thing for a company. But as a day trader or someone that's really looking to make a quick buy sell, that would be a little bit more tricky. Now let's take another look at example B. All right, this is looking again at demonstration purposes, but let's say General Electric, again, $10 a share, same thing as Microsoft. You buy 5 shares, you got $50 invested, you buy it at $10. Again, you're looking at a 5-year trend with this chart down below here, and you can see that it ranged anywhere from $5 upwards to $30 in the activity and the value of the shares. A lot more areas for opportunity to have that return on your investment compared to the Microsoft account in this example. So again, if you're looking to do that day trading and investment, you would want to look more for those stocks that have that rapid change in value in the shares. All right. Of course, you want to buy low, sell high. Sometimes easier said than done. But it's definitely possible to do, especially when you have all the tools that you have within specific platforms. You have patterns, you have trends. You can see how well the company's done over the week, the month, the year, 5-year trend. And you have a lot of information in front of you regarding the companies and the headlines and stuff like that. So yes, it may be difficult to buy at its very lowest and to sell at its very highest. However, it is not as difficult to buy low and then sell, maybe when you have a 10 or 15% return on your investment. You can't just wait off for that peak, because you can't really predict, when a company's going to peak. So again, looking at that movement is extremely important, or that volatility. Pattern and trend analysis, also very big. So it really depends on what you're looking to buy, if your midterm, long-term goals, or really that quick buy sell. So the examples here I provided are Plug Power, which are real companies. And this is a 5-year trend, which is represented on the far left, bottom left of the monitor. Plug Power is a energy alternative company. And you can see over 5 years, they've really have done well. They've picked up in the last year, and they're growing quite rapidly, I would say. So that may be a company that if you hear and find out that they have a 1 and 3 and 5 year goals, and they're doing very well, that may be a company that you really want to hold on to, buy now and then wait to see how well they do and just keep on track of it. It may be a long-term investment. Now, moving over to the center chart, looking at Starwood Property Trust, that's a company, again, looking at 5-year trend. So you can see that they've been rather consistent, with the exception of the last, 2020, the current year. That consistency, if you're looking at that trend, ranged from anywhere from $24 to $26 over that almost 4.5-year time period. So very, very consistent. Not maybe a great stock, again, if you're looking to buy, sell quick. Now, however, because of COVID, more than likely in this case is in February, this company took a really big dive. This might be an extremely good investment if you're looking to buy something now and wait 2, 3, 5 months down the road and then sell it once they get back up to where they remain consistent. Because right now they're at anywhere from $13 to $15 a share, and they've shown a lot of growth in the last few months, really showing that they're starting to adapt and build back to what they've had before. So again, potentially a good opportunity there. Apex Global Brands on the far right. This is looking at 1 week of time, and the reason I put that one on there, it could be a really good investment if you're looking to, again, buy, sell or buy quick and sell very quick, within a day, within a couple days, because these are cheap stocks or shares anywhere from 50 cents to $1.20 a share, or I think it's like $1.11 was the cap out. But again, very cheap, so you'd be buying in volume. But that being said, if you could buy in at that 50 or 60 cent margin and sell at 80 to 90 cents, you're really making one heck of a return on your investment. You're just putting more money, not more money, but you're buying more shares, you're having more volume into it. And again, because that particular company is moving quite a bit, and if you monitor it, there's definitely opportunity there. So that would be more of an example of like a day trader going into this. All right. So again, long-term, great growth, expansion, midterm, company, recovering from a particular event, but they're showing promise and continuing to build. And then another one where there's a lot of moving and activity, throughout the day. All right. The other thing that you want to look at is an analysis feedback, and that's provided in a lot of different applications. Robinhood has that as well, and I use it. The analysis feedback are individuals and people that's what they do for a living. They collect data and intelligence, and they compile it and find out, is this particular company one that you should be buying shares or selling your shares or holding your shares? And usually there's a variety or multiple analysts suggestions in there. So they'll say like 8 out of 10 analysts say you should buy it. One says you should sell it, and another one says you should hold it. So it gives you kind of a consensus. Again, just one additional factor to take in consideration if you don't really know what to do. Other things to look at are company head, of course, current news and stuff like that. So Microsoft likely coming out with a new gaming console and Halo series and all that kind of stuff. Those types of things may actually cause their shares to increase in value. So again, keeping up on that type of stuff can really be of your interest. And again, in addition, really keeping track of current events. All right, so thinking like of the mass and the general public themselves, like what is happening on in the world that could really impact, investments. All right, now I mentioned this before. I'm going to show it down below, but yes, one is COVID. There's been a ton of different companies impacted by COVID. Two of which I just listed here are the airlines, as well as the cruise lines. Their stocks remain rather consistent prior, and they took a huge dive, during the whole early 2020, January, February, March time period, when COVID really started to have an impact. I haven't really looked at the cruise lines stocks, but I would hazard a guess that they also have taken a really big dive. All right. Now, on the contrary, some of the pharmaceutical companies are actually starting to have an increase in their share values. And that's something, again, that you want to maybe keep track of. So I know like Moderna and Pfizer are some of the pharmaceutical companies that are the front runners for releasing a COVID vaccine. So whichever pharmaceutical company likely accomplishes that objective first, you're probably going to see a huge spike in the revenue and the value of the shares. So again, keeping on track of current events can really play in your favor. Again, this is just some information on Moderna. I was just looking into that. All right. Now here's the how-to. All right. So very simple. Technology, the accessible information that are easily at our hands, and the available applications out there. Doing this yourself is very easy. How I created this up here, it wasn't very hard. You can be up and running in 5 or 10 minutes. You could do this on your phone. You could do it on a laptop. You don't need 6 screens. Maybe a little excessive, but it's just easier for me. However, I have done it on my phone, and I've done it on a single monitor station as well. Now with the applications, the one that I'm most familiar with and the one that I use is the Robinhood application. Again, within 5 or 10 minutes, you can be up and running. You have to just put in your information, the biggest things out there that I like this application is that, one, it's a very user-friendly platform. And I'm actually going to show you that live on this video. Well, not live, it's recorded. However, I'm just going to run through a couple things and show you it and really show you how easy it is. The other good thing about the Robinhood application for doing your own investment is there is no fees. There's no fees to install it. There's no fees to get up and running. When you buy or sell your shares, you're not having a fee. So that is awesome. And you can actually get the Robinhood app and you don't have to commit or put money into it. You can absolutely do $0, and then just start playing with the application. Another nice thing about it. And if you click on the referral link that I'm putting down in this YouTube, you also receive a free stock, which is awesome. A lot of different applications really don't provide that. And basically the way it works, you sign up. Robinhood is going to give you like 3 different options, almost like a scratch off. You choose one, and then you own that stock. It is now in your portfolio. You can buy it or you can sell it. You can keep it. Whatever you want, it is yours. It'll tell you the dollar amount. It can range from anywhere from a couple dollars to 10, 20. I know the free one that I originally got was $9, and that was Plug Power. And I think I expressed them earlier, and they're doing really well. I have another associate of mine. He got Johnson & Johnson at $141. So kind of neat as a free little bonus. Now that being said, if you do click on that link, I may be compensated, as in I also may get a free stock. However, you are capped out at $500 a year, as I recall from the terminology and stuff like that from Robinhood. But if you appreciate, if this video is of use, if you found this information, to your interest, and if it can help you, I would appreciate that. Please subscribe, give a thumbs up, click on that link, and you'll be rolling in no time. So again, can you make money? I just really want to recap. Yes, you can. It is not that hard to understand how to buy, how to sell. Again, just keep in mind that, choose your stocks wisely, do some homework, and watch those stocks on a regular basis. If you're looking to make that quick sell, you have to watch it throughout the day. So if you were working 9 to 5 and you can't have that opportunity to, buy and sell quickly, that might be more difficult to do. Not impossible, but definitely more difficult. All right. So now I'm going to quickly show you over here. Here we go. All right. So this is what you're seeing right now is the Robinhood application in use on the screen here. This is like the main page. So this is a profile for demonstration purposes. That is a real profile, which is great for this demonstration here. Now that chart right here, this is not a company that you're seeing. This is actually the customer or the person's account information in regards to what have they invested and their overall value from their investments. So you can see that they started off with, let's see here, if you click the 1 week, by the way, down here it shows you 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, and their whole investment time period. So they started off with $100 recently within the last couple of days, and then they just started getting into the investing. And then you can just see over the last 2 days their activity. Not enough time to really look at the trends involved, but it's nice to have there. Now on the right-hand side, it shows the companies in which they purchased shares from. So Apex is one of the companies that they're looking at. So if you click on Apex, it's going to bring you to the Apex company itself. All right, so Apex Global Brands, and it's gonna, you're gonna see the volatility or how much that stock is moving for the day. Again, here's for the week. Again, so a lot of activity. 1 month, and if you hover over that line, it's gonna show you at what date and what time how much that particular share was worth. So on June 15th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Apex Global Brands was worth 56 cents a share, all right? And then if you go over here on June 30th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the shares are worth $1.07. All right. So again, the objective is to buy low, sell high. So even if you had purchased it at that 60 cents and you sold it at 84, 70 cents, you're really doing well on your return on investment. Again, buying volume because these are really cheap stocks. So that is how it works. If you want to go back to your portfolio or main page, you just click on portfolio. You can see any of the other stocks that you are looking at or that you currently own. All right. If you want to search, for a company, you could do that as well. Or if maybe it wasn't a specific company, but a particular field. So let's say we talked about the airlines. So if you did airlines, you type that in, the airlines are going to come up here. So I haven't looked at these, but let's look at United Airlines. And this is looking at 1 day. So let's go back to 1 year. Look at a whole year's worth of data. All right. So United Airlines in 2019, for the most part, were $85 to $90. And then they started to fall in February of this year, and they took a huge dive and down to roughly $30 and $20 a share. And it looks like now they're slowly starting to creep up, but about a third or half of what prior to COVID. So again, something to consider if you're looking into, maybe a midterm investment, the airlines. Again, that was just United Airlines. Now, let's say if you wanted to look at the cruise lines, I haven't really looked at these either. I would assume that they probably did the same thing. Let's looking at Norwegian. So let's look at the last year. Yeah, and let's look at 5 years. Okay, wow. All right, so yeah, Norwegian Cruise Line, roughly $49, $50 a share for 4 years, decently consistent. And then right around February 21st into early March, they completely crashed, took a huge dive down to $12 a share. And then now they're starting to slowly, looks like maybe movement a little. Imagine the cruise lines might be down for a while still. However, again, these are things to consider, like what is impacting the companies. This is definitely a buyer's market, so again, it's really a good time to start exploring. Now, let's just say you have your money in here and you wanted to buy some of the cruise line, right? So what you could do here, it's going currently for $16 a share. You could say how many shares that you want. Let's say you wanted 12 shares. It's going to be $193.20. It does the math for you, right? You would say preview your order, right? If you had enough money in your account, all you would do is say yes or swipe up if you're on your app, and you would then own a stock or those shares in that company. All right. We'll go back to portfolio. Same thing if you wanted to sell, right? So you got the buy plug if you wanted to buy more, or you can sell the plug power shares. If you wanted to sell them, you say, how many do you want to sell? I want to sell 1. You can you review your order. And if you really want to sell it, you can hit sell. Now, I'm not going to do this, but that is how that works. Very easy, instant, no transaction fees. So that's it. That is how you can make money. That is how you can start doing investing by yourself, doing some homework, spending some time on this. I went over some of the ways in which you should take a look at, how to choose different stocks and what things to think about. In addition to the Robinhood application, which I use and recommend, it does really well. The other thing that I would like to show you real quick here actually is, let's look at plug. If you scroll down on plug power, it's going to tell you a little bit about the company itself and what they do. It's going to tell you recent news and articles. And here it's also going to tell you the analyst ratings. And that was one of the things I talked about before. So out of 9 analysts, you've got 89% are saying, yes, you should buy this. You have 1 analyst saying you should hold on to what you currently have. And no analysts are saying that you should currently sell if you have shares in Plug Power. So again, just different things to use as a guide, as another factor deciding, should you buy, sell, hold, and stuff like that. All right, so I think that completes the presentation. I hope you liked it. I hope it helps out. Not hard to do. If you liked it, subscribe, give a thumbs up, use that link, and that's it. Any questions, comments, leave it below. Have a good one.